Hi, everybody. This is Angel Arts, and welcome to another exciting episode of Let's Interview the finalists for what I am codenaming the Ready Persona 1 tabletop campaign. I am here joined by Ethan. Welcome, Ethan.
Hello, everybody.
Ethan is the last but not least auditioner, so why not? Ethan has requested for Callista to join us once again. Welcome back, Callista.
Very happy to be here.
So happy to have you. And yeah, so I'm just going to get out of the way and let Callista run the show. So go right ahead.
Thank you. Okay. What draws you to tabletop gaming? What is it about this that draws you in, that makes you love it so?
There are a bunch of different things. At first, when I started, it was just trying to be more outgoing and trying to be with people and having that closeness and togetherness. But as I started playing more tabletop, I realized I really loved playing characters and role playing and everything like that. And I might not be the best at it, but here I am. I made it somehow. So.
Second question. What do you think is the most important trait in a player?
It's actually a tough question because a lot of traits are important in themselves, but I think just being heartful with the group as a whole, if you're not in it uh, figuratively, then why are you even there? And how is everybody else going to have a good time if you're not with it? But I think that's the most important part.
What is a flaw you have, and how do you plan on combating that flaw?
Oh dear. Several flaws of mine. I have a lot of them. I think the most applicable, at least right now, is nerves. I get nervous and awkward playing characters, even when my characters are confident or sly and wicked or whatever. And sometimes I fall out of character purely because I just kind of lose concentration and it's not part of my character as me as Ethan. Oh, there's a second part of that question. Combating that, honestly, it's just practice. The more you can do it and be in character, it's a skill you hone. It's especially, I've actually kind of watched voice actors and real actors work. It's a little bit nerdy of me, but it is one of my passions, and I've been trying to study and learn how to stay in character and be a different character.
If you had to live in a video game world, which one would it be?
Oh, there are so many video game worlds that I'd love to be in.
And you can only pick one.
And I can only pick one. I would love to be in the Mystery Dungeon universe, the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon universe.
Good choice. Good choice. Which Pokemon would you be, though? Which one?
I'd probably be a Riolu into Lucario.
Oh, they're cute. They're cute.
They are cute. Even though Eevee is my favorite, Riolu, I think, would match my personality better.
An excellent choice. An excellent choice, Ethan.
What would you be? Or can I ask that question? Can I ask that question?
I guess. I'd be a Psyduck.
Psyduck?
I like the water and I get a lot of headaches. I'm like, you fit, confused little duck. Okay. Now, that is the only question you are allowed to ask me. How dare you?
Sorry,
I am the interviewer.
First of all, mad props to you, Ethan, because you are the only interviewer who has ever had the gall to ask the interviewer a question.
No.
So props to you for being the first one to do that. Whether or not that's in your favor or not, who's to say?
Okay.
What is my biggest reservation of this candidate? Here's the thing, Ethan. The reason why you're here is you're not just this audition, but the last audition. I just love your energy, and your sense of humor clearly showed both in the interview itself and in the title and in everything. And there's just a charm to that And I was like, I really want to know more about this person. So I had to make you a finalist because you've auditioned 4 times. And each audition, you've gotten so much better. And the last one is just like, I was just laughing my head off, and I just like, I'm sold on this person. That being said, the reason why I think it had that charm was because you were auditioning at the very last minute, like down to the wire last minute.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't really prepare anything. You just kind of went and gone for it. And mad props for you for being able to do that in under the time limit as well. And this isn't the first time this happened. Though the last time you auditioned, you also like waited till the last minute.
Yeah.
So I question then, because we have other auditioners who know ahead of time when the deadline is. They like have this really polished, they put so much time and so much effort into the auditions, and here you come along at the last minute, and not that, some people do wait till the last minute and end up in the campaign. Kevin. So what I am worried about with you, what I fear about you, Ethan, is I wonder, would Ethan take this seriously? Like, does he take this seriously? Would he actually be invested in this? Would he actually be committed to this? Because I don't know you well enough to know if you're just a wild card about this or not. So, given that is my biggest reservation for you, what is your response?
That is completely fair. I will say that. I am most certainly a wild card. It's kind of my character, especially when I've dropped all my reservations, as you've seen throughout the past auditions, as I'm slowly making... I take a lot of stuff not seriously, if that makes sense. I not necessarily feign non-seriousness, but I approach things very, very nonchalantly, I guess is the right word. Seriousness is not necessarily something that I think you should be worried about. And yes, you don't know me. You don't know if I'm bold-faced lying to you right now. But I have been running a campaign for 3.5 to 4 years now. Every other Saturday, I have made almost every game. There, I think, 6 times I've missed out of 3.5 to 4 years. And frankly, if my heart is in something, I am in it all the way. It doesn't necessarily matter. I love it. I'll be a part of it.
Do you believe that your heart's in this one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Cool. That's all I wanted to know with that specific question then. Hypothetically, if you were to give up your position to actually be in the campaign and give that to somebody else, to another auditioner, which other auditioner would you swap with to let them play in the game instead of yourself, and why?
I would do it for somebody else who's been auditioning for years and has never gotten in. Someone like Evie. A lot of mock auditions this year, even one from you, which was really good. But I love the toaster. But yeah, I'd probably give it to somebody like Evie, simply because I've been in a campaign before. I know what it's like. And maybe it's not one of your campaigns, but that's enough for me. And maybe somebody else can have it.
Forrest wakes up in their apartment. It is a gloomy, smoggy day, despite the fact that there should be sunshine pouring in through their windows. The smog in the sky all but prohibits that. So it is a very dour start to the day, quite somber. However, Forrest does have quite a nice day planned out for themselves. They have a practice recital that they are heading to. In about a month's time, they have a full-on performance. It is a sort of community day, a nice chance for the community to gather and just relish in the fact that they are alive and they have not starved to death. So how does Forrest prepare?
Forrest will get up and do some stretches, get ready for today. Maybe a little bit of yoga. Maybe if they're not quite on time, like to sleep in a little bit sometimes. Might rush a little bit the early morning exercise routine, grab the meager breakfast that is supplied, and head off. I do have a question. Would I be going to a job first, or am I going straight to the rehearsal?
I'm going to say this is a day off.
A day off.
For Forrest. So they have no work. As a nice, easy day planned out. Just go to this practice, and then the rest of their day is free.
I'll pack a little lunch for myself and get the goodies for everybody that I have already made.
Okay.
Previous.
Okay, you
make sure they're all Tupperware and just get ready for the day. Mm-hmm. Nerves going strong, but fight through it. Mm-hmm. Gather all my stuff, my lucky baton, and let's hit it.
You head out into the city. The walls are bleak and grey. There are plenty of people all facing the ground, simply trying to get about, do that rat race. Mm-hmm. But Forrest, relatively upbeat, I gather.
Yeah.
Head held high.
Relatively upbeat. Kind of staying away from other people, but just enjoying that I'm alive and I'm not dead.
Like a salmon swimming upstream, even though everything is so gloomy. The sky, if Forrest were to look up, black clouds, but they are not rain clouds. It is just the air pollution, the smog and the dirt and the grit that hangs overhead. But Forrest is still
carcinogens.
So good for the skin.
Love it.
And ahead, Forrest sees the community center, worn down. It's well loved, if you want to call it that. It is well loved, not in a state of disrepair. There are a couple of people that you recognize from the band there. Outside is a sort of 30-year-old man called Jack. He's smoking a cigarette, and as he sees you, Forrest, you're late.
Okay. Late? Oh, am I late? I didn't... Is my watch off? I don't... Am I late?
About 5 minutes.
Oh, crap. Sorry. I'll be right in a second. I'll hurry inside real quick and get it quickly set up as fast as I can. Everybody should be warming up anyway for the first 5 to 10 minutes, so it's not like I'm hard pressed to get there. But it's a little unprofessional, so could be better day, but we gotta go at it. Can't let it get me down.
You can already hear the strings, the brass. There are about 20 people or so in this band, and you can hear various states of like people tuning their instruments. You can also hear some people mucking about as they are wont to do. Just someone walks in and you hear that whomp 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 whomp. Stop it, Todd! And just chaos as there is no one there to control them.
Right. Is everybody look okay? As I'm getting everything set up and putting my lunch bag to the side and getting my music organized, does everybody look all right? Is there anybody out of place? Anybody missing? Anybody hurt or anything? Or
speaking of missing, as you look over the crowd, you notice there is one seat vacant. And this is quite odd. It is the first violinist. She's a young girl, about maybe only 15. She's one of the younger members of the band. She's called Miriam. And this is incredibly odd. Miriam is extremely punctual. She's never been late, and she has only ever missed a handful of practices and performances, and she has always sent word ahead. So this is extremely unusual.
That's really unusual. All right. Well, I'll close everybody off and just introduce the day's plans, kind of look into the door, making sure Miriam's not standing there or anything, but kind of confused a little bit. But shake it off and then just think for a second. And you know what, guys? Why don't we take 5 minutes, work with your sections, and try to work on the things you guys think you need to work on for a minute. I'm gonna go check on something. Apologies. I'm gonna back down and does anybody have any questions real quick, or?
The band is nodding. You do notice the other violinists in the group, they also seem rather confused. You can see them kind of whispering to each other and just generally being like,
locking eyes with them, trying to see if anybody is like, no, okay. Sorry, cat. Locking eyes, no one's. It's unusual. Gonna check in the locker, the storage lockers in the side hallway. No one's there.
As you're kind of checking the side hallway, you can hear the front entrance kind of slam open, heavy footsteps, and you can see a young teenage girl, Miriam, running, panting, but you can also see that her face is flushed, but not just from running. She also appears to have some tear stains going down her cheeks.
Oh dear, oh my. I'll try to meet her halfway and kind of pull her off to the side so it's not in front of the whole band, you know?
Yeah.
And just, hello, dear. Is there anything wrong? What's wrong? Are you alright?
As she meets you, she, slows down. I'm so sorry. Forrest.
Calm down, alright? Calm down. Just take a deep breath, okay? You're fine. Nobody's going to hurt you. Are you alright?
She's looking around, biting her bottom lip, and after a moment, she shakes her head. No.
Okay. You're not alright. What happened? I guess is everything okay first? Are you fine?
Everything's okay. I feel a little bit stupid, to be honest. Last week, someone stole my dad's ration card, and we needed to get another. And Miriam is clutching her violin case under her arm, but it's not the one you've normally seen. Miriam has always been extremely proud of her violin. It is beautiful. It's not a Stradivarius or out fancy like that, but it is something that has been in her family for generations, and she is extremely proud of it. And this case looks far cheaper, and it's dinged up, and she just looks down at it and she says, we had to get a replacement card, and that was more important than the violin, but it was my great-great-grandfather's, and
I know. I'm so sorry. Do you need a minute? Anything I can help with? I don't know.
And it sounds terrible as well. It just doesn't sound as good, and I don't sound as good. And I'm being incredibly selfish right now, but I don't know what to do.
You're not being selfish. Giving your violin up like that, that was an amazing thing for you to do, and I'm not sure if I could have made the same choice. I wouldn't say it's the right one, but you certainly did something very good for your family. Is there a vendor or something? Maybe we could buy it back if...
My dad took it to some pawn shop on...
Shop.
Yeah.
Did he pawn it or sell it? Do you know?
I'm not too sure.
Oh, okay. Well, if you need a minute, I'm sure I can help you tune the strings, and we might have a few spares in the back or anything like that. But I've got cookies if you want one. Maybe that'll help.
That would help.
Okay.
Would help.
You're not allergic to peanut butter, are you?
No. And Miriam dries her cheeks a little.
I'm gonna lead her over and try to put myself in between her and the band to try to block some of what's going on, and gonna go over and open a Tupperware and give her a peanut butter cookie.
She eats the cookie, and over the course of the day you help her tune the violin. It doesn't sound as good as her great-great-grandfather's, but over the course of the day you notice Miriam, she perks up a lot. The violinist, when she has a thing and it doesn't go, the tone is kind of off, they actually start matching it so it sounds less dodgy. And at the end of the day, as Miriam is going off, she just before she leaves, and you go home. Your cookies were very much enjoyed by the band. They were very much enjoyed.
Handing them out after I go. Have a good day. Here's your bag. On my way home, though, could I? Do I know any pawn shops in the area?
Sure. There is actually one major pawn shop, okay. And you take a walk by it, and sure enough, Pride and Place, there is that violin in the window.
Do I even want to know how much it was on for?
That's like 2 months paycheck right there. It's pricey, it's old. It's good quality.
All right. Okay. So I don't have any funds. I don't have enough. I'll go inside and ask the store owner if there could be a hold put on the item, at least for the time being. You see, there was a mix-up, and somebody wanted the instrument stored away, and there was maybe there was a mishandling of the instrument, and somebody else got their hands on it, and it was stolen away. Who knows? But I'm well prepared to pay things to get it back. I would just need time and explaining myself to the shop owner like that.
As you are, the camera pans out, and we see a kind of montage. The violin being taken out of the window, a shot of Forrest's apartment, and certain knickknacks start disappearing, but then the violin case is on the desk. Miriam there giving Forrest a hug because you got her beloved violin back as Forrest hands it over.
I would also ask secretly go behind Miriam's back and ask the whole band, maybe she leaves early one day or something, and ask them if they would like to chip in as well, especially the violin section.
Okay, and they do. They're very close-knit. And in the aftermath of this, Forrest, now significantly poorer, but feeling a lot better, they put on the VR helmet. They're looking for some R&R. And as the world...
Taking my big hat off.
The world around them changes. And you see the title screen, Engines of War, a cog appearing and smoke billowing across, and then, as if by magic, Forrest is transported away, and in their place is Yellow, stood on the balcony of an airship high above Paris, the Eiffel Tower glinting off in the distance. Yellow leans over the edge, taking in the fresh air that they can now experience.
All right. Okay.
Beside them is a friend that Yellow has made in the game. They have a kind of ye old English gentleman type aesthetic. You know them as... Oh yeah, very Sherlock Holmes. You just know them as the Colonel.
The Colonel. Okay.
That's the only way you know them. Currently, your mission, should you choose to accept it, you are on this airship. It is a very fancy bourgeoisie party that is currently going on. The glitz and the glamour are all inside. However, there is a German assassin hidden somewhere on board. You know of an assassination attempt that will take place on a Russian general. They have been notably speaking about wanting peace and how we should put an end to this blasted war and all of that, and this German spy has not taken all too kindly to such talk. You have foiled one assassination attempt already. However, it seems most likely that this German spy will try again.
Okay. So I'll turn to the Colonel as I'm overlooking the balcony of Paris, France. All right, well, Colonel, do we have any information as to any updates, I should say?
Well, old bean, there was one interesting thing I found about the crime scene. I noticed this, and he takes out of his pocket a cigarette. This is a Turkish cigarette. Most intriguing. Most of these people smoke French cigarettes. This
Understandable.
Undoubtedly comes from our would-be assassin. If we can find out who smokes these, we should have our answer.
All right. Do I have full permissions to work with the... how should I say? My full arsenal?
If you want to shoot the crowd's head off, go for it.
She doesn't laugh, really. Well, they... Obviously, I will try to keep this on the down low, but if things get hairy, be prepared to make some sort of cover story. I know I always get the job done, but sometimes things can go hairy.
That they can, Yellow. That they can. But right now, I do believe that General is giving a speech in the ballroom. It seems like that is likely the assassin's next attempt. We must hurry. And he opens the door.
Okay. I would follow him. Going to adjust my attire. I imagine I am also dressed up in a very fancy suit. If you give me the liberty, a black sort of, not quite a dress. In the front, it's kind of shorn off in like a skirt sort of thing, but the end kind of flows into a long train of this black and very, very deep blue mixed in. As walking along, going to adjust the black hat on my head, like a big fancy black with like these yellow flowers that stick up on the top. Just walking along and getting everything in order. My little purse that has all of my belongings in it. And any other tools that I would assume I would have.
You have a pistol. You have a pistol concealed somewhere on your person. Of course you do.
Well, I'm going to stalk forward and notice any exit signs, any people immediately acting out of the ordinary as I'm walking by the halls?
No one acting out of the ordinary. However, as you begin walking on the air, that smell, Turkish cigarettes.
Turkish cigarettes.
And you follow it. The Colonel also picks up on this, however, I'll go scope out the ballroom. Make sure that nothing happens. You follow the scent.
Will do, sir.
The Colonel.
Okay, and I will kind of work my way around all the conversations so I can keep an eye on the entire room as I walk by. And again, I don't think I've noticed anybody out of ordinary as of yet.
You do not. The General stands on a small podium, a microphone in front of him, addressing the crowd, urging a time of peace, a time of learning. We must stop this endless violence. We must stop it. And following your nose, you begin scanning. And you see, standing at the edge of the ballroom, someone who had piqued your interest earlier, Canon Pennyfather. A very English-sounding, lots of, salutations and the like. However, you noticed he had some odd choices of grammar, and he has the cigarette in his mouth, eyes narrowed as he glares daggers at the General, and slowly you see him reach.
I'll reach into my thing as I quickly walk forward. I don't want to make too much of a scene. I'm going to come up right behind him and... Well, hello there. Excuse me. Is there, do you know if there are any refreshments around here? I haven't seen a waiter in a while.
What, waiter, I believe they are over there. Excuse me, madam.
Oh, well, madam, would you leave a lady waiting then? Could you escort me, please?
His eyes narrow.
Okay.
And he goes to push you away.
Okay. How is he trying to push me away? Is it more of like a, just get over,
no,
get
this
away,
is
or
a,
is it
this
like
is
a forceful...
Force. Okay. A lot of force. His composure has dropped. He looks outraged.
Okay, I'm gonna immediately try to contest him a little bit, and...
Okay. You struggle. You heretics! And he begins shouting in German. The people around him begin backing away. The Colonel from the other end of the ballroom just... Use all the force you can, Yellow!
Okay.
All the force!
All the force, okay, that's specific. Alright, we're like in a grapple already, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to use as much leverage as I can, maybe do a quick elbow and straight to the throat if I can. Maybe he won't dodge in time, maybe he will, I don't know.
You knock him in the throat. And he goes to make a punch. However, the airship actually begins to tilt. It has run into turbulence. The airship begins to tilt. Cutlery, tables begin clattering. The grand piano in the background sliding across the ballroom as you fall to your feet and slide away.
Roll out of it, maybe.
You roll out of it. He fared a lot better. He was at a fortuitous angle. He is still standing. He takes his gun out and aims it at the General.
Quick draw, just out of my pocket, or like in my... Just pull out and fire off my Tesla pistol, or whatever we're using. I don't know.
Tesla is good. You fire off the Tesla bullet. The cogs on the gun whirring as time seems to slow. The bullet zipping across, striking the man in the chest, and he does the dramatic fall as he goes down. The words "mission complete" appearing at the top of the screen, a little da 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 da, like you won. As people are screaming, but it's more of a, oh my god, there's a dead guy. kind of screaming. It's not an all-out panic, and also some like, oh, the airship tilted. The colonel rushes over, picking you up, shaking your hand. Good job, Yellow. You got the man.
Be a little distracted, kind of staring at him. Turn back to the colonel for a second before... I almost didn't, though. Feel I'm losing my touch.
Oh, Yellow. You'll never lose that. And then the camera. Well. Oh, unless you have a witty one-liner to end this on.
They don't call me Yellow for nothing. No, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, man. Could I start over?
And then the camera pans away.
It's back. Just crap. Oh. Forrest here. I'd love to be in this thing, so if you'd ignore my RPers' mistakes, I would love to be kind of with y'all. I'm not sure who I'm going to be playing with or anything like that, but I'd have a grand old time. And hopefully you all will too. So, until then, smiley day to y'all.